See June 17th Indian Express news articles. First article is related to government raises Agnipath upper age to 23 for this year after the protest. Center announced a 2-year relaxation in the upper age limit for the scheme. This year, since there was no recruitment in service during the last 2 years, leader the defense minister said that it would allow those who were 21-year-old in 2020 when recruitments were stalled to be eligible only for this year. Under original scheme announced on Tuesday, only aspirants between 17.5 years and 21 years are eligible for the recruitment. But on Thursday, Defense Ministry said the upper age limit for the recruitment process for Agnipath scheme for 2022 is increased to 23 years. Agnipath protest. It has not been possible to undertake the recruitment during the last 2 years. Government has decided that one-time waiver shall be granted for the proposed recruitment cycle for 2022. Behind the protest, service is only for 4 years. The pension has been removed. There is no lifelong healthcare benefits for the soldiers and his family. Until now, the soldiers had job security for approximately 17 years, and thereafter the comfort of pension and access to subsidized healthcare for himself and his family. In case of a soldier died in action, the benefits continue for this family. The Agnipath scheme will end these benefits. One of the core but unsaid aim of the scheme is to cut down on shoring salary and pension bill of the armed forces. For this, government has allocated 2.5 lakh crore under these two head alone, but of 5.25 lakh crore defense budget. Agniveers as a soldiers will be called under 4-year Agnipath scheme, will paid for the tenure and will get a lump sum amount of 11.7 lakh at the end of the service, which will be tax-free. There is no concept of pension or lifelong health benefit. In case of Agniveer dies in service, the family will get 1 crore, including insurance, ex gratia and balance salary, but it will be one-time payout. All Agniveers will finish their 4-year tenure. Then there will be fresh recruitment of 25% of the same pool. They will continue in service for 15 more years and will get pension and health benefits existing today. Okay. The source said it will get a financial package, and bank loans and those wishing to study further will be given a 12th class equivalent certificate and bridging course for others further studies. For job seekers, the government has already said they will get a priority in Central Armed Police Force. But BJP ruled states have also assured priority in police recruitment. Additionally, the government has said the recruitment path will align with the previous system based on the recruitable male population system for the army. Okay. The next article is related to behind the protest. That is what we seen in the past topic. Behind the protest temporary stunt, no pension or health benefit. Myth or fact documents underline that new scheme will not only bring in new capabilities but will also open up avenues in the private sector, will help the young men become entrepreneurs with the aid of financial package. Next article is no demolition without due process. The rule of law has to prevail. Supreme Court seeks UP response. Underlining that the rule of law has to prevail and no demolition can take place without following the due process of law, says Supreme Court. This is what the article talks about. Next article that we are moving into is related to relics bonding. 11-day at Ganden Tengcheling Monastery, which is located in Mongolia. You have to know where is this Tengcheling Monastery. It is located in Mongolia. Okay. Next one is next article is NIOS to launch a special courses for Agniveers who have cleared class 10. Under the initiative, NIOS will develop a customized course to help Agniveers who have cleared matriculation to obtain class 12 pass certificate. TICE. This certificates will be issued to the NIOS, will be recognized for the higher education as well as employment. Department of School Education and Literacy through its autonomous institutions. On Wednesday, the ministry has said it will launch a 3-year skill-based bachelor degree program for serving defense personnel that will recognize the skills they acquire during their tenure in the armed force. IGNO will implement the program, it added. Next article is related to India-ASEAN conclave. Foreign ministers agree on unified response to global issues. The article talks about external minister Jaishankar flagged the geopolitical headwinds triggered by Ukraine crisis, and it knocks on the effect of food energy security, prices of fertilizers and commodity as well as logistic and supply chain. Foreign ministers of India, Asian countries on Thursday agreed to uphold the multilateral in jointly responding to the regional and global challenges, with Myanmar non-participating in the India-ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting. The joint statement issued after the meeting did not mention the situation in the country. The commitment to multilateralism founded on the principles of international law, including Charter of United Nations, the 1982 International Convention on Law of Seas, UN clause, and the other relevant UN treaties and conventions maintain open, inclusive regional cooperation framework, support Asian centrality in the evolving rules-based regional architecture, uphold multilateralism in jointly responding to regional and global challenges. Jaishankar said, India fully supports a strong and unified prosperous ASEAN with a central role in the Indo-Pacific, but both sides should identify a new set of priorities while navigating the adverse path arising from developments in Ukraine. India is hosting two-day conclave to mark the 30th anniversary of its relations with the 10 nation, that is ASEAN. ASEAN is a 10-member nation grouping, is considered as one of the most influential grouping in the Southeast Asia. In India and several other countries including US, China, Japan, Australia are its dialogue partners. The Asian-India dialogue partner started with the establishment of sectoral partnership in 1992. This graduated to full dialogue partnership in December 1995 and summit level partnership in 2002. Next article talks about Prayagraj demolition falls foul of Allahabad's High Court, says former CJ. Let us see this article. Prayagraj Development Authority decision to demolish the political activities and businessman Mohammad Javed's house on June 12 after serving just a day's notice to vacate goes against 2020 ruling of Allahabad High Court, which issued a directive to Uttar Pradesh government to allow 30-day window for issuing a notice. Should wait for taking any action of actual demolition will the statutory period of appeal comes to end. In Abbas Ansari ruling, the court acknowledged that UP government is carrying out the demolition without allowing property owners the time to appeal in several instances. Till the disposal of the interim application filed in the statutory appeals, the authorities should not take any steps for executing the demolition orders. Next article is related to in the Harmony, Dargah shifter Shikar set Prime Minister to unfurl flags atop temple. On Saturday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the redeveloped Kalika Mata temple atop Pavagat Hill in Gujarat Panchmahal district. Besides being engineer marvel, 11th century temple complex with the house Dargah is an example of harmony of faith in itself. According to the temple trust, for the first time, the temple will have a shikar, that is superstructure and spear, where the Hazrat Sadan Shah Wali Pir Dar earlier stood. The Dargah was relocated a few meters away as a part of the amicable settlements during the redevelopment. UNESCO has designated Champaner Pavagadh as a World Heritage Site, calling it as a only complete and unchanged Islamic pre-Mughal city. It is believed that in 15th century, Sultan Muhammad Bedka conquered Champaner, where he set up his capital and destroyed the shikar of the temple. The Sadan Shah Pir Dargah is believed to have built around that time. The idol of the goddess was at a lower level. During the redevelopment, we brought the temple floor to a level where the devotees can see the deity at eye level. Garbhagriha has not been touched. Pahatpur red sandstone from Rajasthan, the same type of stone being used to build the Ram temple in Ayodhya. Dargah, situated atop the Garbhagriha of Mahakali temple for centuries, was shifted around 50 feet away. Dargah stood earlier made way for shikar and gold-plated kalash. Okay, next article that we are moving into is related to Black Death, that is 7 centuries on new light on plague origins. Black Death, that is bubonic plague that killed millions across West Asia, North Africa, Middle East, Europe during 1346 to 53, been caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. Its origin has long been uncertain. Originated in the modern day northern Kyrgyzstan around 1338 to 3339. Why pestis was spread by fleas carried by the rodent host. Once it spread to humans, they transmitted it to other either through fleas or directly through the respiratory system. Contemporaries who wrote about the epidemics often describes the buboes, hard inflamed lymph nodes as distinguishing clinical feature. The genetic analysis then established that modern strains of the bacterium closely related to the ancient strains are found in the plague reservoirs around on the Tiangshan mountain, close to where the ancient strains was found. This indicated that Isaac Kul was where the Black Death's source strains came from. Next article is related to Fed rate hike and implications. US Federal Reserve hiked the interest rates by 3/4 of percentage point on Wednesday, its most aggressive move since 1994 in a bid to tame runaway inflation. Next article is related to likely impact on India and what investors should do. Experts says that aggressive Fed rate hike of 70 basis point is likely to push the RBI's more rate hikes in the coming 2 to 3 quarters, and there will have a direct bearing on GDP growth and market movement. How much could rates be hiked? An additional rate hike of 75 to 100 basis point over the next 3 quarters in India. Now say RBI could go for additional rate hike of 125 basis point this fiscal. That may not only impact overall demand in the economy and GDP growth, but it will also lead to correction in the market on an account of outflow of funds by foreign portfolio investment and downward revision in earning projection of listed entities as a result of higher cost of funds and input cost. Given the continuing rise in the interest rate and uncertainty on where the yield may stabilize, while debt investors can go for short-term products of 1 to 2 years, market participation feel equity markets in current times should only be considered with an investment horizon of at least 3 years. Next article is related to two years after Galwan clash, where India-China relations stand today. The article talks about Tencent, that is a Chinese tech entertainment giant, recently bought a stake in the Flipkart, even while several apps linked to it such as TikTok remain banned in India. Chinese country Yang Chi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to attend the BRICS summit being hosted by China next week. This week, Beijing also lifted a 2-year COVID ban on visas to Indian professionals and their families. It has also indicated it is processing a visa of Indian students who had returned home on account of pandemic. Alongside, India has stepped into the engagement with Quad and groupings of Australia, Japan, US that seeks to contain China in the Indo-Pacific region on both economic and security fronts. Let's continue this video in next video. This article in the next video. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.